Okay, getting right down to business, joining us really early this morning.
Michael Carter, Police Sergeant with the Shreveport Police Association. I can't thank you enough for staying up. I know you've been working all night, but you are fired up. You want some changes made to better protect police officers. Accurate?
It's time to change.
What are you calling
it's time
for?
To change. We've got a policy failure going on here. We're sticking with business as usual, and business as usual is not working. We have police officers who are being maliciously murdered. We've already had one attacked on Mansfield Road. He could have been easily murdered. A shot was fired at his head. The suspect chose not to kill him. There was not officers immediately on the scene because he wasn't in a two-man unit. Then we went immediately to another call only a few weeks later where a detective was pinned down while working a higher back on patrol in the Queensboro neighborhood. And it took 3 other officers and a lieutenant to confront him, and eventually the suspect was shot and killed. Now we have the death of Officer Thomas LaValle. We have to have policy changes. We have to have tactic changes. It's time to change the staffing and the way we control these streets.
Sergeant Mike, what changes are you calling for specifically?
We need two-man units. We need 2 officer units. There needs to be 2 officers in the car. Your backup needs to be there when you get there. All right? When you get there, you need a contact cover. You need an officer to make contact and an officer to cover. And that's how it works. That's how it works in the real world. If you look at the bigger cities that have the major crime problems, that they've been two-man units for a long time. They'll come back and say, well, we don't have the manpower. Well, that's laughable. We don't even have the cars for one-man units. We don't have the cars for them. 80% of our patrol cars are redlined. They're not operational right now. So, you got a double-edged sword here. Number one is officer safety. Number 2, you don't have the equipment to supply one-man cars. So it seems to me at this point in time it would be a no-brainer. But not this administration. This administration is holding fast to the old way, and you know what? The old way's not working anymore.
Sergeant Mike, pardon me, and I certainly don't know much, if anything, about police tactics, so I hope I'm not splitting hairs and you can explain it in a way that I can understand. But you said there also needs to be a change tactically. What do you mean by that?
The way you tactically approach a call, if you are outnumbered or if it's one-on-one, a suspect will feel more confident. With 2 officers, you at least come in with at least a cover officer. If there's more than one suspect, then there's at least 2 of you that have to deal with. If it's one suspect, in the case that we just had to face, then you have 2 to 1. That automatically makes the person psychologically size up the situation and have to determine whether or not they're going to commit a violent act. Will it automatically stop them? No. Will it cause them to be defeated? Almost certainly. The results over time show that 2 officers on a scene will keep a scene calmer, longer, and will overcome the tragedies that we're facing across the state.
Are you saying that Officer LaValle would be alive today had he had a partner riding with him?
I'm saying that there's a greater chance that he could have survived that ambush attack, that malicious attack, if he'd had a partner in the car with him whenever he got there. His backup was coming from another district, and that backup was getting there as fast as they possibly could. They did not do anything wrong. Thomas LaValle was following the policies and procedures and the standard operating procedures of the Shreveport Police Department. Go to the call as soon as you can, intervene as soon as you can. And that's what he was doing. That's what he'd been taught to do. That's what all of us have done for years, and that's not working anymore.
So, Sergeant Mike, it is Shreveport, you want 2 officers per vehicle.
We should have had 2 officers in the car years ago.
Does the Shreveport Police Department right now have the manpower to do that and still cover the area that needs to be covered?
The Shreveport Police Department is losing manpower. We've had 7 officers resign since the murder of Officer Thomas LaValle. We've got 5 more set to retire, and there will be more resignations. You can count on it. Right now, if you're going to man 2-man units, you can do it, and you may have to change some of your staffing. You may have to change the way where some people are assigned until you can get your manpower back up. But you know what? Manpower is a multifaceted issue. I've heard comments from the administration in the past week, well, if I gave them $1,000 more a month, they'd still find something to complain about. Look, we're not complaining. We're insisting that you take our lives seriously and that you increase our chances of survival.
Now, when
officer safety is only second to public safety. The public cannot possibly feel safe whenever police officers are being murdered in their neighborhood.
You told me on the phone yesterday after we had the news of the state trooper's death in Lake Charles, you said there is no other way. They are executing us. Have criminals changed? Has their mindset changed where they're not afraid to shoot at you, to kill you, to kill a police officer?
In both incidents of death, both officers were shot multiple times in the head. All right. I would like to say that our hearts and prayers go out to Catherine Vincent and Ethan Vincent, the family of Trooper Stephen Vincent. Our hearts go out to the entire Louisiana State Police. We certainly feel your pain right now, and we're here for them whenever we can help them. But the truth is that they are executing police officers. All right. They know that we're wearing vests. Go back less than 5 years ago. Sergeant Tim Prunty was wearing a ballistic vest. The suspect knew he was wearing a vest, and he deliberately shot below the vest and hit him 5 times and killed him. He subsequently bled to death from a femoral artery rip. We cannot take the chances that we've taken in the past. We cannot put our head in the sand and ignore these things. This is what is frustrating strong, brave police officers. This is not a knee-jerk reaction. I just named 3 incidents when we first got on the phone this morning, and they're all recent. They all happened just in the last, month and a half, 2 months. These are the things that need to be addressed as they arise. Tactics must change. You must adapt and overcome whenever you are faced with what we call a organized opposition. And right now, the people are more aggressive who are confronting law enforcement than I've seen in my 20-year law enforcement career with Shreveport Police.
Police Sergeant Michael Carter, we can't thank you enough for your time, and I know you've been up all night. We appreciate your stopping by with us today.
Thank you.
Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty. Hang on a second or two. Fletcher is on.